Not every curse is national news. We've heard of a lake on Long Island, New York, where a little-known curse is out to sink the local men.
We received this letter from New York State, and it says that there's a lake called Ronkonkoma that's cursed.
Let me see that. Beware the curse of the Lady of Lake Ronkonkoma. In the summer, if you want to cool off and you're a girl, go to Lake Ronkonkoma. But if you're a boy, lock yourself in your mother's car, tie yourself to a tree, but don't go swimming.
So what do you think that means?
I don't know. I think we got to look into this and see if this curse holds any water.
Lake Ronkonkoma is the largest and deepest lake on Long Island, New York. As for the Lady of the Lake, legend has it she was a Native American princess who lived in the 1600s. Her name was Tuscawanta.
It says here that Tuscawanta falls in love with an Englishman named Hugh Birdsall, who's a woodcutter on the other side of Lake Ronkonkoma.
Tuscawanta catches a glimpse of him working by the water and is instantly smitten. But her father, the sachem, or chief of the Setauket tribe, forbids the union.
Sounds like a classic Romeo and Juliet scenario to me. I don't see this one ending well.
I feel a curse coming on here.
We decide to do some digging into the history of the area to see how this curse fits in. We find that when the English first settled Long Island around the 1630s, there are as many as 13 tribes of the Algonquin Nation living here. One of them is the Setauket.
According to legend, Tuscawanta, the daughter of the Setauket chief, defies her father for the Englishman she loves. Every day she rows out on the lake and sends Birdsall love notes on floating pieces of bark. But for 7 years, their clashing worlds keep the young couple apart. And the princess loses hope. One day she rows out to the middle of the lake as usual. But this time she puts a knife through her heart. Her tragic fate curses the lake, and she still haunts it today, looking for a man to love in death. Someone who looks just like her forbidden love, Hugh Birdsall.
About 3/4 of the drownings in the United States are men. And here's the unnerving thing. There have been at least 32 drownings at Lake Ronkonkoma since 1963, and they've all been men. Seems like it's time to pay the Lady of the Lake a visit.
Some locals also spoke of other oddities at the lake, including a powerful whirlpool in the water's center, which pulls the unwary down.
But we know from our research on whirlpools that would be downright unnatural. Whirlpools are formed by powerful ocean tides and in fast-moving rivers, not on quiet lakes like Ronkonkoma. As we get close to the lake, we decide to check in with a couple of the locals to see if they have any inside information on the curse.
Delicatessen's always a good place to get some local knowledge, right?
Must know something in here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing?
And we've heard that there's a curse on Lake Ronkonkoma. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, ever since I was a little kid, I've been hearing about it.
Did you ever hear of anyone drowning in the lake?
Yeah, pretty much every year they would always take a man.
Once a year?
Do you believe in the curse?
Yeah, I believe it. A little bit, yeah.
You swim in the lake?
No, we don't actually.
And you said it's only men that drown?
Only men. Yeah, it's only men. Never been a woman ever since I've been around. Yeah.
Can it be mere coincidence that women don't seem to drown here? Or is a curse really at work?
It's been called a place of haunting mystery. Steps all of a sudden turned red. Is this some kind of a warning?
Something's not right about this place.
Hey, look at that.
Danger.
What could be the danger here? It looks like a big bathtub.
This lake may not look dangerous, but its reputation says otherwise. Let's see what veteran lifeguard David Igneri has to say about it.
I'm Dr. David S. Igneri. I was head lifeguard at Lake Ronkonkoma for 32 summers.
In more than 3 decades on Lake Ronkonkoma, Igneri has faced all its dangers. He knows this lake and its secrets better than anyone.
There are a lot of drownings in this lake.
Yes. from 1877 to 1977, there was something like 147, and at least 30 in my 32 years here.
That seems like an extremely high death toll. I mean, this lake looks like a big swimming pool.
Igneri explains that most of the lake is only about 10 feet deep, but there's a few very deep trouble spots, some right near the beaches.
There are a couple of spots that go down to about 45 feet deep, and then there's one spot as much as 70 feet.
It suggested that there were a lot of whirlpools in the middle of this thing that may have caused those drownings.
I've swam across hundreds of times. I've never seen a whirlpool. Now, this is what I know. Once you get deeper than about 10 or so feet in this lake, it's total black. You cannot see a thing. You'll think you're swimming up, actually you're swimming down. So once they get to 10 feet, if you don't get them, you can't find them.
The conditions Igneri describes sound pretty dangerous, even without a curse. But some of his experiences here are so spine-chilling, he begins to wonder if he's battling more than just natural forces on Lake Ronkonkoma. We're heading out with him today to test these cursed waters for ourselves.
You brought your buoy with you as a little extra protection, huh?
Well, in case something happens to one of you guys, I might have my 140th rescue today.
When's the last time you saw the lady?
I've never actually seen her.
No?
That doesn't mean she's not there. I was one who believed in just the concrete, something that I could see, something that I could understand. Didn't believe in the supernatural at all.
Then, in February of 1965, all of that begins to change. It starts with a terrifying nightmare, one that haunts the 21-year-old Igneri 7 nights in a row. In the dream, he is attempting a rescue.
I was diving in very deep water. I was going down a ledge into the darkness. And as I got down about 25 or 30 feet, I was out of air. I had lost orientation. I couldn't figure out which way was up or down.
Igneri panics. He finally realizes he must follow his bubbles up. As he breaks the surface, fireworks explode. Igneri interprets this recurring nightmare as a warning that the Lady of the Lake will try to take a victim on the 4th of July.
In the dream, I came up saving myself. I didn't save the person. But I dismissed that and said, well, we'll figure out a way. This time, we're going to stop the legend. This time, we're going to stop the curse. Well, the 4th came. We had about 2,000 people in the water and about another 4,000 or 5,000 on the beach. I had told all my guards of what was going to happen, and we were going to stop it. So at 4:30, 4:35, epileptic boy, 6 feet tall, 15 years old, had a seizure in the water. We dove for 45 minutes. We cleared the water, of course. We used the human chain. We did everything we could. And finally, I said to the guards, I'm going to take one more dive myself. And I dove down. I went down the ledge. It was so dark and murky that I couldn't see where I was going. I lost concentration, got disoriented, followed my bubbles to the surface. And the firecrackers went off. A beautiful boy of 15 had just died.
This powerful premonition that comes true convinces Igneri that there's something to this curse. For the next 29 years, he fights the Lady of the Lake tooth and nail for the life of every young man swimming on his watch.
Of any of the rescues that you've done over the years, did anybody say that there was the Lady of the Lake had beckoned them into the water?
No, it's just that the girls miraculously survived and the boys drowned. But if you're a girl in the summer, go swimming in Lake Ronkonkoma. Have all the fun you'd like. But if you're a boy, lock yourself in your mother's car, tie yourself to a tree. Don't go in the water.
Well, let's get out of this boat,
We're a little too close to it right now, then.
There hasn't been a drowning here since 2000, but David Igneri and many of the locals are still convinced the Lady of the Lake is out there, looking for her next unlucky mate. The curse of Lake Ronkonkoma may be on hold for now, and Mothman hasn't been